live. Yeah! What's up, everybody?
What's up?
We got this newfangled windshield mount.
Oh, I'm sorry. We did.
No, you got the newfangled windshield mount. Good job,
And I got specifically for the live streams, so hopefully our live streams won't be so like crazy and weird. As far as like, hi Emily.
Hi Emily.
I'm gonna just shift it just a little bit. Anyways, and I got it at Marshall's for like $7.99. Harper's back there watching Mickey. And
what's up, Heather?
Literally, Ben's not going to participate in the story because I'm telling you guys.
Okay, shh, I'm being
Listen, he gave me so much grief when I came out. He was just like, oh yeah, like that's not going to work. Like so, and look, I'm sorry, but this is the best shot by far. And it's like, no, we're not having to hold it. We're both in the shot. It's a little wiggly because of the car moving, but like.
Can y'all hear us?
Can everybody hear us?
Yeah, anytime there's a audio or video issue, let us know in the comments.
Somebody, if you can hear us, say
amen.
Okay, say amen. Oh yeah, there was a yes from Zach.
Okay, good. What's up, Zach? Zach always makes me feel like, you know, that I'm not the only guy.
You're not
me,
the only
Harper,
guy.
and Zach. No, I know. I'm just saying.
We have a lot of guys actually that watch.
Some guys watch with their spouse or a significant other, and then some watch on their significant other's account.
Oh yeah, true.
Does that make sense?
True. Yeah. True that.
Now Teresa's husband watches. He comments sometimes. Yeah. Remember, he likes the music.
Yeah. So I hope y'all having like a fun Saturday night.
It just started raining, so it's kind of nasty.
Yeah, it just started raining. We went to the mall because, for a couple reasons, just to get out of the house. I look horrible because I've been crying most of the day. Because my sister Nora officially moved to Los Angeles this morning.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we haven't been near her in 8 years. Like in the same city.
Yeah.
And 5 of those.
In 2010, so
almost 8 years. So 5 of those, you know, she lived with us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she actually, the whole time Olivia was on the show, me and her were like roomies.
Yeah.
And she actually helped us move, or helped me move, because we moved house while, that was so very British. We moved house while Olivia was on the show. Yes. I found an apartment, got an apartment, moved all our stuff, and Nora helped with that.
Yeah.
Plus a bunch of people from Stephanie and a bunch of people from church and stuff like that.
Yes. So we just needed to get out of the house. I'm also looking for a one-piece bathing suit. This is a random and weird thing to talk about. Hi, Debbie. Hi, I'm looking for a one-piece bathing suit because when we go to the beach with just like all of our families, I know I'm going to be running after Harper Ellis on the beach and all that. And not that any of my 2 pieces are revealing at all, but like, you know. So I'm going to try to find something. If I can, great. If I can't, I'll just wear my 2 piece. No big deal.
That was Taylor. I couldn't read it.
I missed. I think there was a question or a comment maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. And since Harper has the other phone, like this is like the other week.
Yeah,
we don't have any way to access the thing, so if we have to see them on the screen.
Yes.
So not the end of the world if you have to even repeat it.
I think everybody's like talking to each other.
Okay, cool. And the thing is, don't be self-conscious about repeating yourself, because these comments evaporate after this chat is over. They don't live forever. So just like copy and paste.
Right. Let's see. You want to do a little...
Oh, you know, there were 2 really good questions that were there last week. Remember? We actually had to cut them out. We kind of answered them. The first one is pretty easy. She wanted to know, who was it that wanted to know about Harper's, what you put on this scar.
Oh, did I answer it?
I had to cut it out because the vlog was so long.
Okay, got it. So, you all know, if you follow the vlogs, that Harper fell back in May, Monday, May 8th. Fell and got 8 stitches on the outside. I'm not sure. There may have been stitches underneath. We never found out that, but it was literally all the way to the skull. And basically, as soon as everything like healed up and the stitches were removed, I was allowed to start putting stuff on it. While the stitches were in there, I put like just like bacitracin or like any kind of antibac, not like Neosporin, but just general antibacterial like cream or whatever to keep it clean and whatever. And as soon as it was completely healed, like as in it was pink, there was no open or scabbing, then you're allowed to start putting actual stuff on it. So a friend of mine, Jay Jacobs from the show, some of you who watch Biggest Loser may remember him. He was part of the green team, and he was like, he sent me a text as soon as it happened and was like, Olivia, my really good friend, I think he said he somehow sliced, like cut his face, like either through a window or in a car wreck, but like literally sliced his face from like corner to corner and had just like 1,800 stitches down his face. And a friend of theirs was like, listen, I'm telling you, as soon as it heals, you need to get La Mer moisturizer and just start rubbing on the scar. And he told me, he said, Olivia, I'm telling you this. He said, you would never be able to tell that this guy has a scar on his face. It's completely faded. It's really like miraculous. And this guy still to this day puts La Mer on it. So I started doing research about La Mer, and La Mer has this stuff called the miracle broth in it. And it's like, it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but the miracle broth is made from this particular kind of algae that they that they grow in these tanks with light, a specific kind of light, and music.
What?
It's this, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Go look it up. And it creates this like certain strain of algae that has this healing, some kind of like extra protein something or other that is really good for cell regeneration, which is what you want. If you have a scar, you want like those cells to turn over. It's never going to go away, but you want it anyways. But if you don't know anything about La Mer, like you can only get it at like Saks, Bloomingdale's, and it's literally like $180 for a jar like this. It's so small. So I went and got myself a sample, and the woman gave me like a actual big sample of it. It was like in a little jar, and I've just now, since May, and I do it every single night, I just put a little bitty bit on my finger. You have to activate it, put it on his forehead. I do it once a day, and I'm telling you, people all the time are always just like, I cannot believe what his scar looks like. And I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to switch over. I'm going to continue using the La Mer. I'm probably going to end up I'm just going to like break down eventually and just buy the pot, and maybe I'll dip a little bit of some out. Maybe I'll use the rest of it for myself. But I just feel like it's important. It's on his face. It matters to me as a mom. I mean, a lot of people would be like, oh, it'll probably just fade on its own anyways. And maybe it would, but it makes me feel like I'm doing everything. That was the longest rant ever, so.
That was good.
But it's La Mer.
La Mer.
L-A. What?
La Mer or La Mer? Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, now you're just like, La Mer.
Something of the C, right?
I think it's La Mer. L-E. No? Maybe it is La Mer. I don't know. I'll put it on.
Yeah,
that's terrible. It means the C in French, but for whatever reason, I think it's La Mer. La Mer.
Yeah.
La Mer. No, L-A-M-A-M-E-R. Anyways.
Who knows?
One of the two. I can't believe I'm embarrassed that I don't know that, actually. But anyways, it's wonderful. If you're just looking for a really expensive moisturizer and you have some money to burn, I highly recommend it. It is some of the most incredible stuff ever. So, that's good.
I have a quick answer for John, actually Tresta's husband.
Yes.
He said he always likes the music, which I very much appreciate. And he wanted to know, I think he wanted to know who, but I basically use like 3 or 4 different people. Yeah. I used
wait, sorry. Just before anybody says anything, we went to Chick-fil-A and got grilled nuggets and fruit. But this is unsweetened iced tea, just so you know. I just thought I should say that before people were like...
Well, I sure wish it was Diet Dr. Pepper, but...
No, this is just unsweetened tea. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but...
No, it's okay. I basically use, for the videos, the best people who do the music that it's allowed to do is David Cutter, Andrew Apple Pie, Dallas Wayne. They're the best. And I support them on Patreon, which means we give them like $2 a month, and you get access to all the beats and stuff.
It's La Mer. Debbie looked it up.
Okay.
You're live. Wait. No, reconnect.
One more
audio or video.
Oh, are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Are you guys still there? Let us know.
Debbie just said the grilled chicken at Chick-fil-A has sugar in it. It does, but it's trace amounts. I worked at Chick-fil-A for like 7 years. It's in the marinade. It's not actually anything they put on it, and it also has traces of milk as well. So, but I mean, the thing is, when I do Whole30, it's about the behavior for me. I mean, I try to stick to it as much as I possibly can, but I can't be legalistic about it. I mean, I think that kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, a lot of people would disagree with that, but I don't disagree with that. That's even how it was with the Daniel fast when I first time did it, like hardcore.
Yeah.
I was like I remember this one time I went to somebody had a dinner party, and this was when you were on the show, and it was right when we first started, and I wasn't eating any. I was completely vegan, but I was invited to a dinner party, and they had, they didn't know and that's fine. And I went and I ate the meat products because I'm like,
but and so my thing is like, grilled chicken is Whole30 approved and I know and my thing is 99% of the time when I'm on Whole30, I am like completely compliant with it. There's just going to be those times where the choice is like, do you not eat the grilled chicken? Do you just not eat? And I just I don't know. I also feel like for years and years and years, just for me personally, and everybody feels differently, which is why it's great. You can do it however way you want to do it, but I think they're still talking about the sugar in the chicken at Chick-fil-A. But what was I gonna say? Debbie, we don't think you're the Whole30.
Oh no, please.
But it's funny because I've had this conversation with people a lot, and a lot of people are like, well, I can't do Whole30 because, and I'm like, well, but no, the whole point, if you read the book, it is about the food, and it is, but they're really, 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 really trying to help you address behaviors as well. You know what I mean? So, and I think for some people, it's more about what foods you're eating, and for other people, it's more about behavior. For me, it is 150% about behavior. I don't know how you feel, but that's how it is for me. So,
I mean, the thing is that you have to remember we could have eaten. What did we want to eat? Oh, our Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah.
With cheese
fries
and fries and that. So you could be eating that, but instead you're eating grilled chicken and fruit. God, that's a victory, people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Victory. Amen.
Absolute. I mean, listen. That's the way I feel about it.
Even at this stage of the game.
The other thing is, to be honest, the very first time I did Whole30, I was so miserable. What I ended up doing is because I was like, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. I was eating literally just apples, egg whites. It was insane. I was like
just greens. Let me just eat some salad. Let me just eat some kale.
But in my thing is because I was and then there was this one salad that at Juice Press that has mashed up avocado, lemon, organic extra virgin olive oil, and it's rubbed on kale with diced carrots on the top and raisins. And I literally lived on that salad. And then I'd get home and make egg whites and because I was just in a hurry and blah, blah, blah. And I just remember for the longest time I never wanted to do Whole30 after that because I was just I love kale too, Zach. It's my favorite. But anyways.
I do not like kale.
I know, but it's my kale. But anyways.
Have all the kale.
So the other times that I did it, I just decided, I was I just can't be so legalistic about it that if I'm out and about, I can't eat or whatever. So anyways, that's but I just didn't want you guys to be I thought they were on Whole30 and they're drinking Diet Coke. It's unsweet tea. Which is what I drink anyways.
Let's see. Before we go to the questions here, I think we should answer one more question because I think it was Heather. This is a long one. Do you remember? It was about the family members' friends around you that are not supportive. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
It was a really good question.
Like, when we got off of the show, did all you kale haters out there?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody's like, I'm with you, Ben. No kale.
Thank you.
Kale is the best. It's so good. But anyways, yeah. Somebody had mentioned or had asked the question about like when I got off the show, like did we have friends around us that were like not supportive and how did you handle that and blah blah blah. I think there were like two types of friends. One was all the people who like immediately like completely support you, blah 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 blah. There were some people who were, I mean, for lack of a better word, kind of extremely, not extremely, but who were just kind of jealous of the change. And you know, I think there are certain people that are codependent with some types of people. Like, I think there are people that are like, oh, yeah, Olivia is my overweight friend that will always do something with me and you know, will always let me be like the center of attention or whatever. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyways, and then there was like just a handful of people who were just, you know, just kind of fell by the wayside. Yeah. Thank you, Robin. That was so nice. My thing is, and it's very much my personality. I've never had tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of like acquaintances. I like a tight-knit group of people around me. So the people that I'm friends with, like the way I feel about you guys, like I'm very close with. So most of my friends were super excited for me, and because again I just have a small tight group of people that I know that are like my family. But there were, however, like people that were just, you know, not super supportive and whatever, and the way, or would say, well, we wanted to invite you to dinner with us or whatever, we knew you would, I mean, there was nothing you would eat there anyways, and blah blah blah. And I always would say, oh, well, I can always find something to eat anywhere. Like, even now, like, I can find something. And not only that, but I would have loved to have come just for the fellowship, because that's, you know,
some coffee and...
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many times that people will be like, oh, well, we're going to donuts or whatever. And I'll be like, great, well, I could still come. They serve coffee, don't they? Oh, yeah. And my thing is, it does make some people uncomfortable. And that's just too bad for them. Like, that's their problem. And I spent so much of my life being overweight, being so concerned about what everybody else was thinking about me or whatever, that I think when I lost weight, I was finally just kind of like, you know, I can't really be super concerned about how somebody's going to feel if I'm trying to make the choices that are the very best for me. And I don't want to, like, be rude. And like I said, if somebody invites me over for dinner and they've gotten, like, chicken fingers and french fries, I'm going to eat that and then make adjustments. I'm not going to be rude. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to sabotage my own goals and things because other people aren't supportive. I just think you have to boldly move forward in your life. It's
just extreme. If you like, so many of the Biggest Loser people on the show were unsuccessful because they came back to their spouse or their close-knit family was not supportive, had no intention of changing, and was just like, oh, okay, I'm glad you did that thing. That is, I don't know how you would do that. Yeah. Because we both made a change, and so that really moved forward. Even our whole families made changes. Now, some have had varying degrees of success as they moved on. Yeah. That's fine. That's normal.
Well, and my thing is, like, I just feel, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was just, like, I worked so hard when I was on the show, and like these last 7 years, like, I've had times where I've been more successful than others, but overall I've been able to keep my weight off and whatever. And it is hard, and I make no bones about it anymore. Like, I'm not like rude at all about it, but I'm also very confident in my decision. Like, you know, I still get every once in a while, like, Facebook messages from, like, old high school friends who are like, can you talk to so-and-so? They work for me, and I just really am concerned about them. I love that you're really concerned about them. There is nothing I can say.
I mean, I'm happy to be around them that maybe somehow there is nothing. Remember, there was nothing anybody could say to us.
No, you can want it for somebody so badly, but until they want it for themselves, and I hate to say it's a waste of time, but it really is. It's
because it actually forces sometimes them to put it off until their time. I mean, like Harper Ellis gets frustrated with us. Like, do this, do this, do this. If we'll just let him do it, it's the same concept. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm not saying that maybe some people would respond to it. Most of the time, they're not going to.
No.
And you're going to put them off. And so, really, if you're the praying kind, you can pray for them.
Yes, you can continue to invite them.
You can invite them, yeah, like you were saying, on workings or healthy things without seeming like...
Oh, sweet. Sherry's proud of us.
Without seeming, oh, you need to do this with me, but hey, I'm going to do this. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is it's just, like, you're not going to do it for somebody else.
No. You're not. And I literally tell people all the time, because people are always like, oh, you know, my sister or my friend or my mom or whatever. And I'm like, listen, they're like, what should I do? Like, I want to sit down. Like, you can't. I mean, now, if it's something like, you know, my 600-pound life or something, and you feel like it's like that they're going to die or something just like serious like that. And I don't mean that in any kind of like judgmental way at all. That's different. But
and there may be, like you're saying, there's maybe circumstances
where you need to like intervene, or if you feel like somebody is being extremely abusive to themselves in the sense that I don't know, like that's just a case by case basis. But on average, even if someone is very overweight, they may need to lose 100, 150, 200, whatever, however many pounds. My thing is, like Ben said, the best thing to do is to pray for them, to continue to support them and invite them places. And they may say no every single time, but you just keep inviting.
And don't be an enabler. Like, don't be like when they, you know, want to go just like all ham on something. Just don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't have an ice cream treat every once in a while. That's not, my point is not that. My point is not always be like, well, I can't do anything for them, so I'm just going to go. We're always going to go out for frozen yogurt. We're always going to do this. You just can't. I mean, you know, just do other things.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just...
That's the thing, yeah. It's just hard. It's just really, really hard. And I mean, the people have begged us to tell them what they should say, or we should talk to something. It's not going to happen. And if in your own life, you just have to find it yourself. We've told this story a million times, but we did it separately because we could never do it together.
Yep.
And we had to come to it on our own. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's still, to some level, it still is our own journey in some way. So much of our life is a journey together as husband and wife. Yep. But that particular thing,
it's very personalized.
It just is. I mean, you know,
because there are certain, I mean, we struggle over, the overarching struggle is the same, but it really is different, even between you and I, how we struggle with food and choice and all. It's very, very, very different. I mean, you know, I know this isn't like the popular thing to say, but men and women also struggle differently with, you know, times of the month and this and the other chemical things and having babies and, you know, growing older. Like, it's just different, you know. And so
men lose weight so much faster and than women, you know. There's just so many other things, and the thing is,
unfair.
And the thing is, you just have to be, and you have to be okay with the other person. And the thing is that yes, there are times to talk about it, but there is a lot of times where you just have to just support.
Yes.
And just be there.
Yep.
I don't know. Is that helpful? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that's
helpful. That's just our thoughts on that. I wish there was something else. I wish, you know, but there's just not.
Yeah. Robin was just asking what she thinks. What do we think Harper Ellis is going to think when he gets old enough to see pictures of us back?
I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I mean, I hope he'll be like, oh my gosh. But
I hope he like looks at it. To me, I hope he looks at it and sees, like, in the most incredible, tangible way, that if he wants something, if he really wants something, if he wants to put his mind to something and put the work in, that anything is possible. That even overcoming your own body, like even overcoming something, like I want him to know that. And I think that that's my biggest desire for him. That, I mean, if he wants it, I believe you can like go out and get it. I really do believe that. Yeah. I also hope that he really, I hope he'll look like and just really understand. Like, I feel like my biggest journey through all of this has been learning to become friends with my body. That for so long, I always felt like my body was the enemy. I always felt my body failed me that it was weak, that it was just like the thorn in my side. I was just like, oh, and like, I just always thought when I dieted that I had to like just beat my body down. You okay?
It's okay, baby.
I had to like beat my body down and go to battle with it. And then like, I just remember like, Bob even said to me when I was on The Biggest Loser one time, he was like, why don't you quit trying to like just go to war with your body all the time? And he was like, why don't you just try to be friends with your body for once? Why don't you try to treat your body like it is a really good friend? Like it is the best relationship that you have an opportunity of growing and nurturing and caring for. And I remember that was like revolution. I was like, what? I was like, no, but my body is like the worst, And he was like, no, actually your behavior is the worst. Your body is the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
We also need to check, make sure, because you know how it flips over to stuff. Make sure he's watching something appropriate for a child.
No, he is.
Okay,
here, baby. It's just a little battery.
Oh, okay. Mine might die.
It's all right. Emily said, "Is it ever daunting thinking and or knowing that it's a lifetime struggle?" I'm going to turn this off because I think Vegas will see us. Yeah, and then he may fall asleep. Anyways, yes, it is. It's interesting. It's not daunting. I mean, because I try not to think about it that way. I literally have to think of it day by day for real, for realsies. It also helps me to constantly have random goals throughout the year, so that I'm constantly like, oh, I gotta stay in check for this. Oh, I gotta stay like. Ben and I know that we have this weird little window right now. At 7 years of keeping our weight off, that there is a possibility in the 7th year that our bodies might reset
like your hormone levels,
your metabolism. So it is crucial this year that we really stay vigilant and so I mean, it's not, I also think I've kind of, I don't know how you feel, but I've kind of laid that to rest a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that was part of my, with weight